who's live in Vinnytsia. So, Ivan, you just spoke with a Ukrainian soldier. What did he tell you?
Well, just to piggyback off of Fred's reporting, this is a major who commands a battalion in Ukraine's territorial defense forces. His battalion is currently fighting to the northwest of Kyiv right now, and he told me they've gotten some of these Western weapons, that his troops already have some of them in the form of the shoulder-launched missiles that can be tank killers and armored personnel killers. But that even before those weapons got into his forces' hands, they had successfully managed to bring the Russian invasion to a standstill on their front line, largely relying on Soviet-era weapons, RPG-7s that are kind of Soviet-made rocket-propelled grenade launchers. But he added that this is coming at a real substantial cost to the Ukrainian armed forces. Take a listen.
Has your battalion had casualties?
Yes. Yes.
People killed, people wounded?
Yes, I prefer not to tell the number of people, but I already lost my friends and people who served with me. We have people who wounded.
What is the weapon that is hurting your men?
The most dangerous is artillery.
Does your battalion have an estimate for how many Russians they killed?
For now, we destroyed almost 200 Russians and captured alive closer to 6 or 8 soldiers.
Now, Victor Nallison, this officer, like many in the armed forces, is a veteran of that war in southeastern Ukraine, in the Donbass region, between Russian-backed separatists and the Ukrainian government. And he says that in many ways, the Russian troops are very similar to the ones he faced down there. There are just more of them here. But one big difference, he said, was the use of Russian air power, the attack helicopters, the warplanes, that has made things much harder and made Ukrainian armed forces much more vulnerable. But he did go on to say that he's seen with his own eyes the expired military rations that some of the Russians had brought in their invasion force. The fact that they did not have adequate supplies of drinking water or fuel. They do have enough, he said, ammunition and weapons, but it's a very mixed picture of the professionalism and preparedness of the Russian invasion force.
Fascinating details there. Ivan, let me ask you about these 3 cruise missiles, at least 3 of them shot down by air defenses near where you are. What's the situation like there now?
Right, so this is a central city in Ukraine that has not seen any ground fighting yet. It's relatively safe, but in the last hour or so, we've heard air raid sirens here several times. This morning, the head of the local government says Ukrainian air defenses shot down 3 cruise missiles. And we know that on Wednesday, and I heard the explosions at about 4 o'clock in the morning, there were other missiles that hit a TV tower in this city. No casualties reported then, but this has become apparently a fact of life, that Russia will fire long-distance rockets, missiles, targeting Ukrainian cities, even though to this day the Russian government insists, and it's very hard to say this out loud because there's so much evidence against it, the Russian government insists the Russian armed forces do not bomb Ukrainian cities. Back to you.
Yeah, it's just hard to reconcile that claim that they've been making for weeks now with what we're seeing in city after city there across Ukraine. Ivan Watson for us in Vinnytsia. Thank you.